What is the need for the newer insulin? It's less problematic in terms of hypoglycemia, and treatment is flexible, safer, and simpler. They are faster acting preferential insulin, longer acting basal insulin. There are two varieties, and they provide a constant concentration with no peak increase in insulin level. That is the most important thing. And there are two varieties. Of course, the short actings are monomers. Normal insulin produced in our body is stored as an hexamer or released as an hexamer. That is, six unit insulins will be clubbed together. And for it to act, it should become a monomer. It has to be broken down into individual insulin chains or the molecule. So they found out that by producing a monomer itself, it will make it much more easier to act, and that is how the short acting insulins are able to act, because they are able to they are in the form of a monomer, single unit of insulin. And the short acting insulin, these are all the varieties which she described, and these are the long acting insulins, and other routes of insulin and other routes of newer insulin are these inhaled versions and other routes. Now coming to see that, you can see there are two chains in this is the A chain and this is the B chain. And B chain has got 30 amino acids and A chain has got 21 amino acids. So totally there are 51 amino acid sequence in two chains, and these two chains are clubbed together by the disulfide bonds. So two disulfide bonds are connecting the A chain and B chain, and there is one more disulfide bond connecting the amino acids within the A chain also. So totally there are three disulfide bonds in an insulin molecule, and by substituting mostly in the B chain 29 position, you can see this is the human insulin with the sequence of preonin, proline, lysine, etc. In Lispro, this is modified slightly by switching the position. So inversion of proline, lysine, that is here can see B28 is proline and 29 is lysine in the normal human insulin produced in the body. And where you just change that position to more, makes it more faster absorbed and shorter duration of action. And this modification did not alter the binding, but block the formation of insulin dimer and hexamer. That is, it will not become a 6 molecule club together. And this allowed the larger amount of active monomeric insulin to be available immediately after meal, and it action starts rapidly within 15 minutes, whereas the earlier insulin used to take at least 45 minutes to 1 hour to act. So you have to take them before, well before the meal, so that they will have the peak action after the postprandial period. Whereas because these things act much faster, you can just administer them just before you take your meal, so that by the time you finish eating, the peak level will be achieved. And this is how the insulin dimer, that is two molecules are together, and in the insulin hexamer you have 6 molecules of insulin clubbed together. So like that, in every insulin you make the alterations. And if you see that insulin aspart, which is also a short acting one, the substitution of proline by aspartate, that is why it's called the aspart. So you can see here normal insulin position, preonin and proline. So that proline is substituted by aspart. And similarly, all the modifications, these pictures are very beautifully given. And for glucosine, you modify the asparagine at position B3 also. So two modifications are done. And B29 you modify it with glutamine. So lysine is replaced with glutamine. So this is how all the modifications are done, and their side effects also she described. And the long-acting insulins, they are made long-acting because you have to delay the absorption and release them slowly into the circulation. So that is achieved by substituting the asparagine glycine at 21, and also you elongate the beta chain by addition of two arginine residues. So you can see here, this is the insulin glargine, where you have the B position, the 21 position is changed here with glargine, and the addition of the C terminal, you have the two arginine residues going in. These are the two arginine residues going into the terminal position. So by making it longer, you are able to make it get absorbed slowly and have a longer duration effect. And all these points, I think she has prepared it from this slide only, so that all these points are already told by her. And, this is how the other things act on this. And the peak action, most of the long-acting insulins are once-a-day dosage. This is another biggest advantage. Like unlike the earlier insulins, it have to be given even 2 or 3 times. And this picture gives a combined normal structure of your insulin. So the A chain, which has got 21 amino acids, and the B chain, which has 30 amino acids. These are the interconnecting disulfide bonds, and this is the intra-chain disulfide bond. So all the substitutions where it is done, it's all given in this nice picture. And this modification is the formation of multi-hexamerase into subcutaneous tissue. How the long-acting insulins are made to act as one method is by combining them with it will get attached to albumin, and the free fraction only is effective, and the albumin combined drug will not work. So it will get released from albumin binding slowly, so that it can have a prolonged duration of action. So that is about the newer insulin. So you have to classify them into short-acting, long-acting, and other methods of acting. And you have to describe how that modification is done at the B chain positions with what substitution or inversion of the amino acid, and the advantages of them and disadvantages. Especially in diabetic ketoacidosis, when you want to control the high blood sugars. Nowadays, these drugs have become very handy. You can have a very titrated and very calculated decrease, because we don't want to rapidly decrease the blood sugar in diabetic ketoacidosis. So we are supposed to reduce it only by about 50 to 75 milligram per hour. So from a very high value, if you drastically reduce it to normal level, you may land up with a lot of other metabolic problems. So these drugs are able to gradually reduce the drug, and because of that short duration, we can type them as a infusion also and achieve the desired level of reduction. So these are the advantages of that. Okay.